hey man.
Let's talk about Nick. He's got, timing, tone, tude, taste, all the T's that you want. He's very, very accomplished. I think he has a master's in jazz composition.
Without a doubt, he comes from the jazz world. Kind of interesting thing is, in the context of Baroness, neither of these guys come from this heavy metal, heavy rock background. They're both fans of the genre, equally skilled in other disciplines.
He's a jazz musician turned metal guy.
And my punk rock side, when I hear that, is like, oh no.
And Sebastian, well, he's a bit more familiar with, hard rock, punk rock, hardcore, and metal. His bread and butter in recent years has been house music.
But the thing about Nick that's a little different, in a lot of rock music that's been made in the last 20 years, the bass line sometimes is the hook. And so it's very repetitive. But Nick doesn't play like that because he comes from more of a jazz world. So he is constantly making little variations. At first, that was like a little bit different for me. I'm used to bands where the bass line repeats through the entire verse, then there's the chorus, same bass line, and that's the hook. He doesn't do that, and honestly, I think it's great. It adds an element of chaos and improvisation that is lacking in other rock bands, I think.
There's some seriously aggressive bass sounds on this record.
The bass tones are a huge difference from the basement.
It's very aggressive bass sounds, and I'm totally stoked on that because it's perfect for the songs. If you solo out some of those bass sounds, what the hell is going on? It's very like an atomic bomb going off.
I think another cool thing is that Nick plays with his fingers and not with a pick. And the rhythmic groove he plays on the verse of Kerosene, fast and kind of galloping in 7/4, and it works with my sort of galloping 7/4 feel. Bass in a lot of rock music is just for harmonic foundation. He's doing more than that. I think he's found a nice sort of like middle ground between repetition and variation. And I think it's something that makes the band stand out now. Nick has also brought a new sort of harmonic flavor to Baroness.
I think there's some pretty unique sounds that we were able to find. A cool part of this process is just everybody's input on everybody's sound, Okay, yeah, we think something could happen here with the keys. Let's all hang out and figure out what the hell that could be.
Because he wrote a couple of the chord progressions and he also plays a bit of keys on it, which I think is a nice new addition to the band.
And there's some synthesizers, some key parts. There's some hidden upright bass in there that doesn't sound anything like an upright bass at this point, but hopefully a new sound.
All the guitar tones are great, the bass tones are awesome, everything sounds good.
Because there's a different bass sound on every song. There's a different guitar sound on every song. There's a different everything on every song. So every time we found the sound we were going to use, it was like, cool, yeah, it's perfect, let's do it. And then we recorded it.
The funny thing is in the studio, I would probably do maybe 3 or 4 takes for the drums. For the guitars, we would spend a couple of days on guitar overdubs. But when it came to Nick's bass takes, we'd all be sitting in the control room. He'd do the bass take and we'd be like, all right, done, next song. And he'd come in and he'd be like, come on, should I do it again? And we were like, nah, it's good. And so he was like a little bit, I think a little jealous that, he was done in 5 minutes for each song. But when you're good, you're good. He gets a little bit of a bass solo in the bridge of Shock Me along with me, and there's a couple of fills that we line up on. There's a triplet that we hit together, which when we heard it in the studio, everybody in the control room was like, yes. think we link up really well,
Just kind of met and got along.
which could be surprising because we come from such different worlds.
Yeah, it's a total buddy cop. You know, it's Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. It's like day in and day out. It's like one dude arguing against another, but in this totally friendly, kind of brotherly way. And
gratuitous alcohol. That's right there. Do not dominate this podcast.
It's all cool. Is that still a video?
That's video.
honestly, we needed that because, you know, it's hard for me to joke around too much, but we got some playfulness back in the band. We got a little bit of like fresh energy, excitement, a little bit of humor.
I think we meet in a nice zone in the middle.
For me, it's a match made in heaven. I don't know what he would say.
It's also, in an awesome way, very relaxing because you never have to worry. I'm totally at ease playing with Nick.